Hello, my dear students. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. This morning, I'm going to share to you significant practices. One of the significant practices in the care and maintenance of the crops. This video recording is beneficial to you when you will engage in gardening and when you will teach your students in the subjects which will be assigned to you, particularly crop production and its related fields. In this video, you will acquire knowledge about the purposes of cultivation, the methods of cultivation, and of course, the time of the day when you will do or cultivate your crops or plants. Let us start with the very first topic, the nature and purposes of cultivation. When you are talking about cultivation, this is the process of tilling the soil around the plants or crops. And it's important because of the following or of these purposes. One is destroy weeds. Weeds are competitors to our main crops in terms of sunlight, water, and nutrients. And weeds are also the host plants of insects or insect pests, which will later on attack your main crops. Therefore, we need to destroy or control weeds through cultivation. Another is to aerate the soil. Plants are like humans. They need air. And when the soil is tilled or cultivated, there is a high opportunity for the air to penetrate to the ground so that the roots of the plants can function well. Another, to make roots grow deeply. Roots are not only for root or for absorptions of nutrient elements and water, but it also serve as anchorage or parts which anchor a part which anchors in the ground so that the plants will go up or grow upright. And if you will not, or if the soil will not be cultivated, it would be very hard for the plants or the roots to function well. Then we have to drain the water. There are some cases wherein an area is a waterlogged area, and in the event that a farmer or that one was able to plant in an area which is waterlogging, and too much water in the area will result to wilting the plants because the roots are attacked by fungus or bacteria due to the presence of water. And in order to remedy this situation, there's a need to cultivate the soil around the plant so that drainage can be facilitated. Next is methods of cultivating the soil. Actually, there are two methods of cultivating the soil depending on the type of cultivation which you will use, whether it is manual or mechanical. In the manual method, you use perhaps sharp polo and grab hoe or even pick mattock or even shovel or digging blade. And in mechanical approach, you use tractor and mm, cultivator implement, which are attached or which is attached to the tractor. The first method is healing up. This is tailing the soil towards the base of the crops or plants. Just like in this image or picture, the person is doing the healing up. And the opposite of this, when you cultivate the soil towards the base, from this base away from the crops or plants that is of bearing. Okay, now let's proceed to the last topic, which is time of cultivating the soil. Actually, there is no um, standard time of cultivating the soil in a day. You can cultivate it in the morning and late in the afternoon. But of course, it is recommended that when you cultivate the soil, it should be in mm, during good weather, meaning it's not raining. Because if you will cultivate the soil during bad weather, There is a tendency for you to promote soil erosion. There is a tendency for the soil to be eroded, and the crops will be affected. And as a crop producer or as a farmer, it is important that you will really understand the needs of the plants or crops, particularly in relation to cultivation. In terms of frequency, I suppose um, there is also no standard, but if the situation demands that you need to cultivate the soil, um, you should cultivate it. The practice of other farmers is that when they cultivate the soil, I think they accompanied this with the fertilizer application or during the weeding period. So when you will cultivate the soil, you apply fertilizer, and at the same time you destroy the weeds. Okay, so it depends on the person or to the gardener, as what I've said a while ago. If the situation demands that there is a need to cultivate the soil, you can do it. It can be done, but of course it should be in good weather condition in order not to promote soil erosion. Okay, and so these are all about for this morning. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.